All right, folks, let's talk about investing in the next generation. This is something that one organization, one institution in the city of Baltimore is planning to do, and we're very, very happy to talk to them about the latest efforts to support young entrepreneurs, youth-led projects that are affecting Baltimore in a positive, major way. We're talking about Baltimore Children and Youth Fund, and we want to first kick off the conversation talking to the president of BCYF, Miss Alicia Lee. Miss Lee, good afternoon. And I apologize, Miss Lee, for taking too long. Gosh.
I'm so happy to be back here with you. We have so much to share, so much to celebrate, things happening here in your hometown, here in Baltimore.
Yes. And let me just
So
say, sometimes it gets like that because Corinna Denise be on here and we start talking politics and revolution.
I was loving it. Yeah, high energy.
I got my sister Corinna Denise still with us, who is a college advisor and advocate and activist out of the Miami, Florida area. So, Corinna, we want to see your face as well. But Lisa, let's talk about the work that you're doing, Baltimore Children, Youth and Family, Youth and Baltimore Children and Youth Fund. Talk to
Yeah,
us about this fund, and you got some special guests joining us, right?
absolutely. We have some of the most incredible people in Baltimore are in our community at BCYF. BCYF is a unique fund in the country in that our city voted in 2016 to create a fund using public dollars and putting those dollars into the hands of community to determine where they go. So this is all about self-determination and agency for Black people in Baltimore City. So we are so honored to be working on behalf of the youth development sector in Baltimore City. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of folks who are working directly with young people every day to create solution-oriented opportunities for young people to thrive. And so we have dispersed since 2020 $23 million into Baltimore City, directly into the hands of mostly Black and Brown-led organizations. Our 2022 grantee cohort, our organizations, 89% of them are led by Black and Brown people. And so this is really exciting. This is the opportunity for the community who determines where our grant dollars go to set the priorities for grant making of a major institution, and then for the grant dollars to go to support Black and Brown people as they work directly with our greatest asset in Baltimore City, the young people and youth of the city. So we're really excited to be here today to share the stories and to introduce two of our grantees who are doing incredible work with young people. So Baltimore and the state of Maryland issued some reports this week about the violence. Yes, youth crime has gone down, but what we've seen is violence towards young people has increased. And so we're really trying to be prescriptive towards that. And we're here as BCUF to say that there are already folks on the case. There are already people in our communities who are dedicated and have dedicated themselves in some cases for decades to supporting young people and providing opportunities. And they've done that in a scarcity. And so
Yeah.
YF is here to introduce the opportunity that our city has said through voting that we want these organizations to be able to dwell in abundance and to have the resources they need. So we're betting on them. We're investing in them. We're investing in these institutions, these small organizations, these Black-led organizations to help our young people get to where they want to go.
So very quickly, before we take we share with folks the grantee, and I know Corinna, you probably definitely got some questions and some thoughts on this. I would love to hear what you got to say for this. But do you think, Elisa, that we need to create a model like this in other cities and other states, BCYF, where there's some dedicated money that is allocated for youth-led projects, for youth investment like this? Why aren't we seeing this model being duplicated in other parts or in other states around the country?
I think it's very simple. Only 2% of philanthropic dollars nationally are really placed in the hands of Black people. So Black-led organizations only get about 2% of the dollars that are even available nationally.
Dang.
We are not used to this is a shout out to the sector, the philanthropic sector, to say, how are we going to make transformation occur? And one of the ways that BCYF a strategy that we use is by putting the grant making decision power in the hands of the community. We have to allow and also hold philanthropic folks accountable for the fact that decisions are made about where resources go in communities by people who don't live there, who don't know the problems firsthand. And so, we know that the best solutions come from the people closest to the problem, not the folks looking from 1,000 miles.
Hey, can you say that for the people in the chat? Because Corinna and I, we know that.
We know this, right?
No, but seriously, like, say that one more time. No, seriously, because I think people need to just like let that marinate. Not to say that the culture crew, they understand these dynamics, but for those who are just tuning into the show and they're like, what? Wait a minute, what did she just say? Because that's the exact position of opportunity and empowerment that Black folks are in, but we don't see it as opportunity in a way for us to be empowered. We see it as being problems. So share that with us again.
Like your lived experience as an asset. I love that. That's good to think about. The people with any problem, especially social problems that are complicated and long-standing, any problem or issue is best solved. In fact, the solution can only be found from the people that are closest to experiencing it. And while there is validity to seeing a problem from, a 360,000 foot view, right, in terms of offering perspective, that's your position there is in partnership, not in solution, and not in determining solutions. So I really want to invite folks to think about that. If we believe that, which we do, and it sounds like y'all do too, if we believe that too, then when we are taking philanthropic dollars that for the most part, our dollars are public dollars, but for the most part, philanthropic dollars come from oppressive places, right? Folks got rich off of the backs of other people. Those descendants of those people are in the communities that now need help and assistance. So deploy the dollars where they need to go. Let communities decide what's important here and how we want to solve our own problems. And that's restoring dignity to the process. So we're really at BCYF that's a part of the ways that we work. And we are also excited about continuing to think about ways that our work can be even more transformative and liberatory. So all right, we got
to take a quick pause. When we come back, Corinna, Elisa, I want us to have a conversation with these powerful grantees of this fund. Folks, we are talking about investing in children and youth of Baltimore and how it could possibly serve as a model for other cities and states around the country. Stay with us. The conversation continues on the other side, right here on The Culture on the Black Star Network.
On his first day in office, with the country in crisis, President Biden got to work for us. Cutting Black child poverty in half, more money for Black entrepreneurs, millions of new, good-paying jobs. He's lowered the cost of living and prescription drugs. But there's more to do. He gets it because we all deserve dignity, safety, respect, and a chance to do more than just get by, but to get ahead.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
When you talk about Blackness and what happens in Black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in Black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Your money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com.
I'm Farajii Muhammad, live from LA. And this is The Culture. The Culture is a two-way conversation. You and me. We talk about the stories, politics, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So join our community every day at 3 p.m. Eastern and let your voice be heard. Hey, We're all in this together. So let's talk about it and see what kind of trouble we can get into. It's The Culture, weekdays at 3, only on the Black Star Network.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?
All right, folks, welcome back to The Culture here on the Black Star Network. We've been checking in with Ms. Elisa Lee, who serves as the president for the Baltimore Children and Youth Fund, an institution in Baltimore City that invests and makes sure that they're creating opportunities for young youth-led projects, young people that want to do fantastic things in a community, and to push the conversation forward about the importance of youth leadership. Elisa, you have some grantees of your fund that you want to just kind of highlight a little bit today. Who are these grantees?
Yeah, so we're excited to introduce and just to hear more about their beautiful work. 2 new grantees, so they're joining our grant making community. And in Baltimore, we say we've got the most exciting people in Baltimore are in our roster here. So we're so excited to have them join our community. So we've got Saran Fawcett here. And she is with AZIZA PECE. Oh, hello! And we also have Jan Pinckney with Sarah's House. And I'm going to let them take it away. I'm going to let Saran to hear from you first about your work and the incredible work you do with young people in Baltimore City.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Saran.
Good afternoon.
And I am the executive director and chief change maker here at AZIZA PECE. And this is...
I am Sean Lemon. I'm the Director of Self-Love and Solidarity here at AZIZA PECE.
And at AZIZA PECE, we use fashion, fitness, arts, music, entertainment, and education to address social determinants of health, social and emotional development, life and critical thinking skills development, and young people, especially Black girls and LGBT youth, pretty much at the age of 13 to 25. And we've been doing this for 15 years now.
Fantastic. And I want to bring in, Corinna, I wanted you to pose any questions that you might have as we have in this. But Saran and Sean, first, welcome to The Culture here on the Black Star Network. Talk to us about what does this mean to be able to be a recipient of this grant from BCYF, and more importantly, how you plan to use those funds to further your work.
So to start, I want to say that when Baltimore City Youth Fund originally started, we were funded in 2018 to 19, and it took our program literally from 0 to 100, literally. Like we could not have had the impact that we have had without that. We managed to do it with nothing like our people do. But giving us the amount of money that they gave us that 1 year definitely shifted the trajectory of this program. And we're forever grateful. And then the following year, it continued. So for BCYF to pour into us again at this level, it's game changing for us because it is a grant that continues year after year. And one thing we know that we need continuity in funding, because we can't create impact with worry of, oh, we have money this year, but we don't have money next year. So we intend to continue the work and heighten our impact and our growth in the city. We want to reach more young people and their parents.
That's awesome. And Sean, talk to us about your role as Director of Self-Love and Solidarity. I want to know, did you sign up for that position?
I not only signed up for it, I created it.
There you go. Okay.
I mean, if you must know, like it's the vibe. It's the vibe that we create. It's the energy that we create within the environment. So first you have to love yourself. So I am a stickler for showing love to myself and showing other people how to love themselves first. In order for you to just be able to love other people, and then continue that within our community as a unit. So that's what my position embodies. Thank you for asking about that, though.
No, because I was trying to figure out if Corinna could serve as the Director of Self-Love and Solidarity for our show.
She can.
So what is one of the things, because we often talk about this, Sean and Saran, but Sean, what is one of the big things that, I mean, as this role, like, how did we start the process of getting young people, especially Black youth, to love themselves again, to get into a space where they see themselves as valuable?
So one, our biggest thing here is to allow them to use their voices. There are so many places that they are not allowed to use their voices in the most respectable, positive way. I think that one of those things that we do here is we allow them to do that. We don't shame them, we don't judge them, we don't, if we're telling them no, we're telling them no for a reason. We are always being authentic within everything that we show them, everything that we give them, everything that we provide for them. We're most authentic selves, and that's what we try to teach them here, to be your most authentic self. And when those moments are not your best moments, that is who you are. So just teaching them how to just become themselves and learn who they are.
Awesome. Corinna, what's your take on that?
Oh man, well, thank you for the compliment, by the way, Farajii. That's
I think you can take that role. I think you can take that role, Corinna.
And sis, I want to speak to when you said, "Oh, I created it." Like, I love that. How innovative that you took the time to like create and cultivate this role. And I think it's so amazing that this grant program is actually renewable, right? I'm kind of going through some of the for 3 years. Yeah, I'm going through some of the grant processes right now. A lot of folks here in the culture know I'm a part of an organization based here in South Florida called the Scholarship Plug, and we're still fairly new, and we're trying to apply for grants. And a lot of things that we've come across are like one time, you're competing with a plethora of other organizations. So a lot of the grants here, they're not specifically tailored to youth and children with that emphasis. So it kind of, since it has that focus, you kind of feel like there's maybe less competition per se, that there's actually a chance. And I would imagine a great weight is lifted off the shoulders off of those boards of directors for your organizations if you're a recipient, because okay, guaranteed next year and the year after this grant is renewable, and I actually have a little bit more time to acquire more funding to keep everything going with the organization. So I think that's something that really sets apart this grant initiative in the city of Baltimore alone. But I'd like to ask the ladies quickly with your organization, what's your process look like? How do you recruit children and youth to be a part of your program? Are you going into schools, neighborhoods? Like, what do you do to drive membership and to get kids interested and get into your organization?
Great question. So we've been around a minute, and our retention rate is high. It's like AP is a family. So they actually bring each other here at this point. We don't have to do a lot of recruitment, but we serve in school during the day, after school, and we're a summer program. So the relationships that we start with these young people don't stop. We literally have group chats. They talk to us all hours of the night and day. They do not know boundaries. Let's be clear about that. We don't mind. We don't mind. So we pretty much let them be the voice of how they want to invite people into their home, because this is their home. And we do let guidance counselors, administrators suggest young people. We never want to be the space that young people feel like they're forced to be in. This is for them and it's about them. So we pretty much do it very organically, very much so.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Mamas.
What'd you say?
Right, mama like. It's two mamas right here.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Anytime a black women come up in this space, you know, I have to listen to Corinna when she comes on the show. So, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. Look, sisters, we got to take a quick pause. When we come forward, at least I want to hear from your other grantee, Jan, as we continue the conversation about investing in children and youth of Baltimore. Folks, stay with us. More discussion about how we can do more to make sure the next generation is in a better place, right here on The Culture on the Black Star Network.
On his first day in office, with the country in crisis, President Biden got to work for us. Cutting Black child poverty in half, more money for Black entrepreneurs, millions of new, good-paying jobs. He's lowered the cost of living and prescription drugs. But there's more to do. He gets it because we all deserve dignity, safety, respect, and a chance to do more than just get by, but to get ahead.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Pull up a chair, take your seat. The Black Tape with me, Dr. Greg Carr, here on the Black Star Network. Every week, we'll take a deeper dive into the world we're living in. Join the conversation only on the Black Star Network.
I'm Farajii Muhammad, live from LA. And this is The Culture. The Culture is a two-way conversation. You and me. We talk about the stories, politics, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So join our community every day at 3 p.m. Eastern and let your voice be heard. Hey, we're all in this together. So let's talk about it and see what kind of trouble we can get into. It's The Culture, weekdays at 3, only on the Black Star Network.
When you talk about blackness and what happens in Black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in Black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Checks and money orders go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com. Folks, Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punches! I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
I love y'all. All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?
All right, folks, welcome back to The Culture here on the Black Star Network. We've been checking in with AZIZA Lee, who serves as the president of the Baltimore Children and Youth Fund, which is an organization that's doing its part to support and invest in the next generation. We've been talking to some of the grantees of this fund, And we've been talking to some of the great sisters of AZIZA PECE, Saran Fawcett, who serves as the executive director, and Sean Lemon, who serves as a role that I'm going to create just for the show, called Director of Self-Love and Solidarity. There we go. So we've been, these are two dynamic sisters that are doing fantastic work, especially those young people who are part of the LGBTQ community in the city of Baltimore. I want to give, for a few more moments, we want to bring in Jan. Is that correct, Elisa?
That's right. We're gonna bring up Jan Pickney. I do want to say about AZIZA PECE that in the community grant review process a year ago, the community said, where are all the LGBTQ plus programs? So, you know, we are responding to them. They said, we know young people that are in that community need extra supports. Where are the programs that are centering their experience? So we're so thrilled to be able to work again with AZIZA PECE this year and for the next 3 years. And another main priority from the community is about wellness and being well by doing. And so we're so thrilled to have Sarah's House, and Jan Pinkney is here as the president of Sarah's House. And Jan, will you just share with us about your incredible work in the community?
Oh, thanks for having me. You know, just a great opportunity. My name is Jan Pinkney. I'm the president of Sarah's House, Inc. We actually started out as a foster care program. Well, I'll go back. Sarah's House was actually founded by my godfather and mentor, Mr. Ronnie Wooten. The lady you see behind me, her name is Sarah Wooten. He named Sarah's House after her in her honor. He said she did a great job of raising him and siblings, the guidance, the rearing, the love, the nurturing. And so he wanted to open up something in her honor. He had retired from being a social worker after 30 years working between Baltimore and Washington, D.C. And so it was around like 2000, he had kind of got on this journey of opening up a foster care program. You know, he saw that there was a gap and there was a need for young people. And so the vision was to open up a program that provided a safe and nurturing home for young men between the ages of 15 and 20. I had no idea that that's what I would be doing. I had just kind of, and anyone who's in the helping profession understands is that, you know, you're not really, you know, I don't know many people who chose to do this. We're kind of chosen, you know, and so I'm glad that he accepted me. I did not ignore, you know, what my calling is. And, you know, I did that from 2002 to 2017, working as the program director and eventually program administrator for Sarah's House, Inc. foster care program. Fast forward, I kind of stepped into the for-profit world offering behavioral health services here in Baltimore, Maryland. I was doing that from 2017 to still doing some of that present. But during COVID, you know, with a lot of the loss that we had, and there was a lot of, you know, we experienced a lot of trauma, you know, some good came out of it. During that time, I was introduced to a group by a colleague and said, okay, this group is meeting and they're discussing the building out of integrated youth mental health program. And so I met it, and when I met with them, I really kind of fell in love with the idea because it spoke directly to what I was feeling in my soul. Somehow, and I don't know how, helping people, and I'm just speaking from Baltimore, you know, somehow helping people in Baltimore has become a competitive industry, you know, and I think, I think sometimes, there's a lot of discussion right now, you know, in the local news cycle, where we're talking about, okay, what steps are we taking as far as criminal justice to engage when we engage in these young people? But I don't hear a lot of talk about support, you know, and so I think, you know, what I'm working on, I think, is timely. I'm so thankful and appreciative to BCYF. They're the first believers. I'm hoping this is not the last time they believe. And my plan is to over deliver and make them proud. But what we're working on right now is an integrated youth mental health center.
And you said integrated youth mental health center, Brother Jan. What does that mean? What is that? And I know we only have a few moments left, but give us a snapshot of what that looks like.
Where young people have choice, young people share in the vision of what the place looks like, what the services look like, where we train and hire them to be peer support workers. Sometimes, you know, when we talk about mental health, you know, just because you're having an issue doesn't necessarily mean you need to be diagnosed. Sometimes you need a place to pause. Sometimes you need someone to talk to. You know, sometimes you need see what community supports. And so creating a safe space, a no judgment space where young people feel supported, where they feel nurtured, but we're also where they have choice and say so in what those services look like. Poor people put up the least resistance, and so what happens often is that service are just given or applied to people without them having any say so. And so we want to create spaces, and and part of it will be socializing them to this space of having choice. Some of them have never had choice when dealing with systems or entities and things like that. And so we want to socialize them and train them to have choice, utilize their voice, learn these skills, and so they could take it back to their peers, families, homes, and communities.
That is awesome, brother. That is awesome. Elisa, I know our time has been certainly well spent, and I'm so happy to hear about both of these programs. Talk to us about the next step in the next, we got about 30 seconds. So give us the layout. What's the next steps? How can folks be supportive of both Sarah's House and AZIZA PECE at this point?
Absolutely. Well, just a reminder as well, BCYF is honored to partner with 101 organizations. These are folks that have beautiful stories of triumph and beautiful stories of overcoming. But they're also folks, for the most part, that are working with a lot of room for us as a city and as a nation to support them. There's still a lot of space for folks to come in. So there's two ways you can support BCYF. One is you can donate directly to BCYF. You can also volunteer with BCYF. We have board seats, plenty of volunteer opportunity. 100% of our board are also Black folks. So we're looking for folks to join us in this movement to support these organizations so that they can live and thrive with abundance. So join us and let's resource them so that they can do their incredible work.
There it is, Elisa Lee. I want to thank the good sisters of AZIZA PECE, Saran and Sean. Thank you. And Brother Jan, we certainly got to have more conversation with you. Trust me, we're working on a big project. So sounds like you would be a great fit for what we're trying to do as we have these bigger conversations about Black men and families and rebuilding the community. So I thank each and every one of you. Corinna, what's your final remarks to our wonderful guests here today?
Sorry, guys, I was on mute. Thank you for sharing your stories. It's very insightful. Man, I wish we had something like that here in Florida. Maybe I need to move to the DMV area. Who knows?
Maybe.
Thank you for sharing your stories. Yes, I love that you mentioned that, you have those open volunteer seats and board seats. I think it speaks to like how much these organizations need more of us to be a part of them, so that we can make this difference in our communities and get the words out that these grant programs and initiatives are available to keep these organizations and our youth thriving. So thank you for sharing with us today.
Absolutely. Elisa, Jan, Saran, Sean, thank you so much for the great work. But most importantly, thank you for being so good for the culture. Thank you, Elisa. We truly appreciate you, and we will reconnect with you soon.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.